Hey guys, welcome back to Mr. Levy's Math Room. I trust that you have been studying and that you have been practicing and practicing. Like I always say, practice makes perfect. Alright, and what we are going to be looking at in this session are some linear equations that came on some CSEC past papers. Right, and so we're going to look at just three of them. Right, just to give you an idea of the type of question CSEC sends for in the linear equations. All right, and so we have a question from the January 2020 paper. So we have 3 over 2y equals 12. So 3 over 2y equals 12. Now we can rewrite 3 over 2y as 3y divided by 2, right? All of that is equal to 12, right? So we have 3 divided by y 3 times y, sorry, divided by 2 equals 12. So 3 times a number, divide that number by 2, it gives us 12, right? So let's go. So the first thing we need to do is to get rid of the denominator, right? Because we want to isolate y. Right? So in order for us to do that, we must first get rid of the fraction or the denominator. Right? And so in order to do that, we are dividing, and we say to undo division or an operation, we perform its opposite operation. So in this case, we are dividing 3 by 2. And in order for us to get rid of that denominator or that division, we are going to multiply, alright? So I'm going to multiply this side of the equation. I'm using a different ink. I'm going to multiply this side of the equation by 2, and then I'll also do the same thing here. Right? So we'll multiply both sides by 2. So the 2's now here cancel. 2 into 2 is 1. We are left with 3. Okay, so let me just that here. So we multiply. Alright, let's ignore that. So we are left with 3y equals 12 times 2 is 24. Alright? Now, so we have 3 times 12 equals 24. 3 times a number equals 12. Alright? So we now need to find what that number is by doing what? Here we are multiplying. The opposite operation for multiplication is correct, division. And so we are going to divide both sides of this equation by 3. Alright? So 3 is cancelled, 3 to 3 is 1, we are left with y equals 24 divided by 3 is equal to 8. Alright? 3 times 8 is 24. So let's see if that's correct. So we are going to substitute 8 in the equation for y. Alright? So 3 times a number, 3 times 8 is what? 24. 24 divided by 2 is 12. Alright? And so 12 is equal to 12. Alright? So you are correct. Now let's hop across here, and we have a question from the June 2019 paper. And it says 3 divided by 7 minus x plus 1 over x equals 0. Now in this case, notice we'll have to find the denominator, the LCM, right? The fraction. And so let's go ahead and find the LCM. Alright, so the LCM of 7x minus 1 and the x would be x times 7x minus 1. Right? Now, just as if you had, let's say, 2/3 plus 1/4. Right? The LCM for 3 and 4 would be 12. Right? 3 times 4. Right? Good. So now we can now go ahead. 7x minus 1 into x times 7x minus 1 is x, and then x times 3 is 3x right? Plus x into x times 7x minus 1 times 1 is 7x minus 1 equal 0. Alright? Now try to follow. So if we just back up a little. It's a fraction. We must find the LCM, or the least common multiple. The least common multiple here would be 7x minus 1 into our times x. That's it right there. Then we are saying 7x minus 1 into x times 7x minus 1 would be x, because the x's, the 7x minus 1 cancel right there. And then we are left with x. 3 times x is 3x plus x into x times 7x minus 1 would be 7x minus 1, right? Equal 0. Now, what we can do here is group like terms. So we group like terms here and simplify. So we have 3x plus 7x, that gives us 10x minus 1 all over x times 7x minus 1 equal 0. Alright? Now we're not finished yet. Now we now need to multiply both sides of this equation to get rid of the denominator. We want to multiply both sides of the equation by x times 7x minus 1. Alright? So if I do that, let's erase this and come over and say a little. Alright, so I multiply this side of the equation by x into 7x minus 1, and this side, make it smaller, by x into 7x minus 1. Right? Multiply. Right, now this cancels that, so we're left with what? 10x minus 1 equal any number times 0 is what? Any number times 0 is equal to 0. Right? So that's equal to 0. Now we want to find the value of x, so we have to get rid of the minus 1 here first by doing what? By adding 1 to both sides. So we have 10x plus 1 minus 1 equal 1. Right? Now the 1 minus 1 is 0. We are left with 10x equal 1. Then we need to get rid of this 10 by doing what? By dividing both sides of the equation by 10. X is equal to 1 over 10. Alright? 1/10. Good? Alright. Let's do one more. Alright, we're going to look at the June 2018, no, June 20, very wrong. That one was June 2018, January 2020. So this one is January 2020. Huh? And it says r minus 3 equals 3 times r minus 5. Alright? Now, when we have an equation with bracket or parentheses, if you may call it that, we must first get rid of the parentheses. Let's do that, alright, in this case. So we have r minus 3 equal 3 times r is 3r, minus 3 times 5 is 15. Alright? So let's work it this way. Then now we are going to do what? We are going to group like terms. And like I always say, it's generally easier or better. I encourage that you move the smaller numbers or smaller terms first. Alright, move the smaller terms. Alright? So we are going to move the r and we are going to move the negative 15. Alright? So let's go. Let's take r from both sides. So we subtract r, so it's r minus 3 equals 3r minus 15. Right? Now r minus r 0, so we're left with negative 3 equals 3r minus r, just let's do the operation. 3r minus 1r is 2r minus 15. Right? Now we need to get this 15 over here. Now how do we do that? So we are going to do what? We are going to, very good, we are going to add 15 to both sides of the equation. And so we have 15 minus 3 equals 2r minus 15 plus 15. Right, so these cancel. We're left with 15 minus 3 is 12 equals 2r. Right, 2 times r. So 2 times a number equals 12. So we're going to now undo this multiplication by dividing both sides by 2. Right? 2's cancel. R is equal to 6. Right? And you can always put that back in your equation and check to see if you are correct. Right? So I encourage you to just practice, do some more practice, find some more, a few more questions like this and just practice them. Alright, so I encourage you to continue to subscribe, like, leave a comment, and share the video. Encourage your friends. Alright? And if you practice, you can do well. Alright? Blessings. See you next time.